What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports. You're watching our college football channel, and we had some news earlier today. Found out that Michigan is shutting down their football facilities, shutting down all football because of some positive COVID tests, and don't really know for sure the extent of it. We're gonna have to do some more. They're gonna have to do some more tests and find out are they going to be able to play Saturday, or are they going to have to shut down? What exactly is going to happen? And of course, with the Big Ten rules, if you do wind up testing positive, you have to sit out for like 21 days. So their season could potentially be over. It could potentially be over depending on how many positive cases they have. And there are a lot of different layers to this story, a lot of different things to talk about. So I thought I'd do a video and just kind of give some thoughts on this. So first of all, Michigan, it's been a disastrous season. They just had that terrible loss to Penn State, a Penn State team that had not won a game. It's been a rough year for Michigan. A lot of people thinking it's time for Jim Harbaugh to go. Will they fire him? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do it. I think he will get one more year. This was a rebuilding year, and they've had some opt-outs. They've had some injuries. Things have really not gone their way, and I think they're probably going to give him another year. So we go ahead and get that out of the way. But as far as the season is concerned, they had Maryland coming up. Then they had, of course, Ohio State. The Ohio State game is what I really want to talk about. But if they don't play Maryland, which I'm assuming based off of the shutdown, they're probably not going to play on Saturday. And then they play Ohio State, lose that game. They're going to finish 2-5. So again, it's just been a rough year for Michigan. If they get to play, that Maryland game is a game that they can win. I think it's a winnable game. They could maybe finish 3-5, which would not be a good year, but it wouldn't be horrible. If you had some easy non-conference games, it still probably would have been a team that made it to a bowl game. So I don't think it's maybe quite as bad as some people think. It's just this was going to be a down year. And if you watch me in my preseason breakdowns, I said Michigan, I thought they might be a top 25 team, but I said they are nowhere near a playoff contender. They're nowhere near Ohio State. Ironically, Penn State, who I thought was going to be a lot better. But again, with the opt-outs and the injuries, I think it's reasonable for this team to struggle. They should be doing better. They have enough talent, but again, there are a lot of different things at play this year. It's just been a wacky year. So the big story here is, what if Michigan does not play Ohio State to close out the season? Which, if I'm a Michigan fan, I don't want to play Ohio State for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's going to get ugly. Remember back in the preseason, they were having those coaches meetings, and Harbaugh and Ryan Day got into it a little bit, and Ryan Day was caught saying, we're going to score 70 on them or something like that. I don't remember the exact quote. Ohio State was going to come in there, and for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's a rivalry, and all of that. They want to make a statement, but also to the playoff committee, they are going to want to finish the season strong, win by as many points as they can to make sure that they can get to the college football playoff, because there's definitely going to be an argument for some other teams. So Michigan really doesn't need to play that game, because it's going to be an embarrassment. They're going to get destroyed. And also, if they don't play, they could potentially keep Ohio State out of the college football playoff, because if the Buckeyes do not play their final two games, they will not qualify for the Big Ten championship game. And they're really not going to have anything on their resume outside that Indiana game. We don't know if Ohio State's even for sure going to play this Saturday. If they don't play against Michigan State, then they're already out of it. They can't play for a Big Ten championship unless the Big Ten changes the rules, which they absolutely could. That wouldn't shock me to get Ohio State in there. But Michigan, could you imagine if Michigan controls the fate of Ohio State, and they can eliminate them from not only the Big Ten championship, but potentially the college football playoff by not playing them? And that is the big story here. There were some jokes made after Ohio State had to cancel their game this past Saturday. I saw some people saying, well, Michigan should just cancel the game against Ohio State and keep them out of the Big Ten championship game. That would be the ultimate troll job. And now it looks like that may be going to happen. Again, depending on how many positives they have, if you test positive, you're shut down for 21 days. So players that test positive are done. They're not going to play again this season. at least in the regular season. So Michigan could potentially, their season could be over, and they could potentially be the team that gets in the way of Ohio State making the college football playoff. That is what is so interesting about this story. Obviously, we hope that there are no serious issues here with COVID-19 on the team, and wouldn't want anyone to get that, of course, but it's just a reality. It's what's going on in college football and really in the entire world. But if I'm a Michigan fan, I think I probably want the season to just end right here. Just go ahead and shut it down. Don't risk finishing with 2 more losses. Don't give Ohio State a path to the college football playoff. And I don't know what the committee will do if indeed Ohio State does not make it into the Big Ten championship game. If they don't get that game, if they don't play another game, it's going to be very hard, in my opinion, to see the Buckeyes in the college football playoff. And we don't know if they're going to play Michigan State. There are a lot of different twists and turns to this story, and it's just something I want to talk about really quickly and see what you guys thought about it. Do you think Michigan is over? Do you think their season is done? They're not going to play another game? And do you think, would Michigan intentionally cancel the game against Ohio State just to keep their rival out of the Big Ten championship game, and also to avoid embarrassment? Because again, that game was going to be ugly. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So give me your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think about this whole situation? I personally think Michigan, their season is probably over. I don't think they're going to play another game this year, and I think that ultimately is going to keep Ohio State out of the Big Ten championship game and potentially out of the college football playoff.